as paraphrase. So you will start your academic writing task on pie chart, and actually even in bar graph and line graph or tables wherever. So this is how you do the paraphrase. So this is the first thing you need to do. You need to take the same meaning but change it, and uh, with some keywords, like instead of give you can use these words that I have told you. Information on the ages of the populations, or you can say on different age groups of the population, yeah, something like that. So after that, let's move on. Now, so the introduction, as we discussed, this was the introduction. Okay. Now the second thing is, so we have discussed that, what's the overview? Okay, so what's the overview? Overview means state the main trends or key takeaway. For example, overall it is clear that, okay, every graph tells you something, every pie chart tells you something, every visual art tells you something. So what this is telling us, we have to see. So we can see that some values are increasing, some are decreasing. Okay, so in 2005, the green value is, let me take it like that. Yeah, okay. So the green value, this one, is 60 plus years, and uh, we can see that this value, this this 60 plus years, which is green, it is 48% in 2005, and it goes to 57% in 2055. So you can see an increase in it. Okay, now since there is an increase, let's go back to that vocabulary list I was showing you, which is this one. If there is an increase, okay, so what words you can use? You can use these four words. The value rose to, there is an increase, it went up, it climbed to, or it moved. Or you can use these words. There is a rise in the value from, what was the percentage? From 48% to 57%, as you can see, from 48 to 57. Now, the this one, navy blue, is 0 to 14 years. That value is decreasing. It is from 48 to 37%, and we are talking about a month. And the red one, which was 4%, it is between age group of 15 to 59 years. It is also increasing. So two values increase and one value decrease. Now let's go to the vocabulary again. So when there is a decrease in something, you can say these are the words that you can utilize when there is a decrease. Okay, so you can say it fell to, declined to, decreased to, dipped to, slumped, reduced, or you can say a decrease, a decline. These are all the words, these are all the vocabularies that you can use. Slump, dramatic. But what's the basic purpose? The basic purpose is that you have to show vocabulary range. Okay, so, and likewise, if the value is getting stable in pie chart, obviously sometimes you do see the same value, but in line graphs and bar graphs and tables, you often see values which are stable, and then we have this vocabulary. Okay, and you have to use one word once. You should not use or revise it twice. So now moving on, if the value fluctuates, so if there is a fluctuation, so what we will do, we will in case of fluctuation, we can see, this in fluctuation, we can simply see that the value is like a sinusoidal value, ups and downs. So in that case, we will simply use these vocabulary like fluctuated, peaked at, stood at, okay? Or you can use the words of fluctuation, reached a peak, or reached, these words. So we have very or at a very fast pace, we have discussed when there is an increase in the values, you can use these words, and decrease these words, and if they are if the values become or stay stable, you can use these words, and in terms of fluctuation, you can use these words. Okay, so now moving on, let's go back to our chart. Likewise, you can also see some kind of changes in Spain as well. So the age group in Spain, if we see, is that the 60 plus years goes from 62% to 46%, and the 15 to 59 years group goes from 24% to 42%, and the third one, which is the 0 to 14 years of kids or the teenagers, they go from 14 to 12%. So we can see that when we are talking about 62% to 46, we can see there is a definite decrease in the value. So and if we are using, and when we see the 15 to 59, there is a definite increase, almost double. Okay, you can see that. And likewise, the 14% to 12%. So again, decrease, increase, decrease, decrease. So now let's go back to we have understood the pie chart and we have seen the percentage. So after, what are the main trends? We will tell what are the main trends, so keywords. For example, overall it is clear that the different age group, or the age group of 60 plus years, or the old people in Oman, they are going, they are increasing or decreasing, so that shows in that, and then in Spain as well. So you will give some kind of overview here, okay? And just all the things that we have just discussed, like this value is going there, this value is going there. Now in the third part, we have to write them in our detail report, specific percentage and comparisons. Now you can use the comparisons. What are the different values, ups and downs? So use vocabulary like accounts for, represents, etc. Okay. And finally, there is a conclusion, and that is optional. So you can summarize the most significant point. Okay. Now, before we move on, what should be your focus? So your focus should be on highlight the so your focus should be on here. Highlight the largest and smallest slices. Mention any significant difference between categories. Comparison. Use language like while, whereas. We also call it as connectors. Okay, so you can use as much connectors as you want, and I'm going to share the list of connectors as well. Tenses. If the chart shows past data, use present tense, and if If it's current or general, use present tense. Variety, avoid repetition, as I've told you. Accuracy, double check your numbers and calculations. And these are some things. So now we are going to come back to it again, but let's go to some model answer. So the pie chart shows significant, you can see here, this word, show. So instead of the original question word, which was give, okay, so instead of give, we have paraphrased it to the word show. Okay, so let's continue and read it. So the pie charts show significant comparison of age groups in Oman and Spain. Are you understanding this? Oman and Spain. So we are mentioning Oman and Spain, the two pie charts we see a comparison of age groups, and we also use the paraphrase of show, and mind you, significant. We have added the word significant. So this is how it is done. Moving on. It is apparent from the charts people who were under consisted half of the population of Oman in 2005, 48%, and a negligible 4% of Oman population were 15, 59 and 60 and over respectively. However, following a half century is assessed to bring staggering, note this word, high vocabulary word, staggering alteration of dominant proliferation from 48% to 57% can be cited. Okay? So we have used some vocabulary words, high vocabulary words. However, in 2005, 62% of Spanish people were between 19 and 59. And this is like simply getting the visual data and putting it in on the paper. Remember, we have to at least meet 150 words. So these are the details. This is the paraphrase. This is the paraphrase. This one. Okay. So this is the paraphrase. These are the details. Okay. And now we go to the final thing, which is the overall conclusion. So overall, this is the conclusion ending. It is important to note that in 2055, proportion of people under 14 will slide away in post-degree. However, this trend will cause middle-aged people to take over dominant position solely in Oman. So this is what makes a perfect ending. That you are also giving the examiner a hint that you have understood it very clearly. So the maximum value is actually in 2055 is 57%. Okay, so that is for Oman. But overall, the age group of 0 to 14 years, okay, it also shows a good chunk in Oman, but not as much in Spain. Okay, in Spain we have the middle age group 15 to 59 taking a dominant position here, okay, in 2055. So that was the actual trend of the pie chart. Overall conclusion. Now what you can do, these are some words. Okay, there are plenty of websites. I will mention them in the coming lectures. So these are some words of vocabulary that you can use. These are also some words of vocabulary that you can use. These are also some words. Okay, so there are so many words and they are technical words. You can use them. Now, moreover, if we move to one or two more questions of pie chart, suppose this one, number 2. I have just done it. Okay. So here, the pie chart below shows the proportion of different categories of families living in poverty in UK in 2002. Different categories? What are the things to note here? that we are talking about different categories of family and the year. So you cannot miss those two things in your paraphrase. You cannot. Okay. So let's dive into it. And here we can clearly see what are the different age groups. I should zoom it a bit. So so here is the different categories. This color is given to single-aged person because I think it's brownish. Yeah, single-aged person are almost here, 7%. Aged couple only 5%. And what's the year? We are talking about 2002. Okay. Single and no children 24%. Couple no children 9%. Sole parent is 26%. Okay. And couple with children 15%. All households 14%. So again, now after understanding we can simply use this thing that the families living in poverty, what's the different category? So which is more poor, which has the highest percentage? Okay. 26 is the highest percentage and it is given to 26 is the highest percentage which is given to 26, this one, sole parent. Single parent, by sole parent it means single. So sole parents, they are the in the worst condition. And then the second is couple no children. So this is how you understand the pie chart. You have to understand the values first. Remember, you only have to write 150 words. You only have 20 minutes or so. So 20 minutes, because 1 hour is given for the complete writing task and 40 minutes should be given to the task 2. So in 20 minutes or so, you can complete it under 20. So you have to first of all understand the pie chart, the question and the pie chart. Okay. And this also shows that we only have to see the highest value and the lowest value, 7%. Single age person are least poor. Now let's see our model answer. Okay. The pie chart examines the different types of families who were living in poor conditions in UK in the year 2000. Again, the pie chart examines. See this paraphrasing. So the first part is the paraphrase, okay, and different types of families. So the question was, the pie chart below shows the proportion of different categories. The model answer says it examines. Show is replaced with examines, and the different type of families. Categories is also paraphrased into types. So this is our paraphrase as usual, and as an overall trend, again 14% of the entire household in UK at that time were in the condition of poverty. In general, single people struggled more than couple. Okay. So at 14% we had single people, and they struggle more than the couple, which are 24%. In particular, as far as people with children are concerned, sole parents showed the highest percentage of 26% among all the given categories, while couples with children accounted for a relatively small percentage of 15%. When it comes, like again, 26% means champion of poverty. So you have to mention the highest and the lowest. always highest, lowest, and then the important ones or the average. So 26% again goes to the sole parent, single parents, as we discussed. When it comes to people with no children, single people made up a large percentage of 24, which is almost the same figure for single people with children. On the other hand, only 9% of the couples without any children suffered from poverty. The children, so it that the percent, the pie chart shows that with children, it always gives you more responsibility. In terms of age, people, singles had a slightly higher percentage than couples. Only 7% and 5% of the age population had hardships in their living circumstances. So clearly, the graph is this thing. This this is actually kind of the main trend. He does not bisect it like in the previous model answer by giving an extra conclusion, but again he tries to tell us the main trend, which is this, that only 7 and 5%, which is 7% goes to single parents, and here single aged person, no, household. 7% goes to all households and 5% goes to aged couples. So they are the ones which are suffering the least in poverty in 2002. And then the 26 and 24%, these 26 and 24%, they are suffering the highest in the year 2002, and 26% is for the sole parent. So single parent has to face the highest form of order of hardship, and this is going for again single parent but with no children. So this is the this is what I call as this is the trend. This is the trend, or this is the thing that the examiner tries to guess, tries to check in your answer, that have you given the main crux or main idea of the visual art, whether it's a pie chart or anything else. Okay, so moving on, we can discuss so many pie charts now because the video is getting longer, so I'm only going to share some more examples, and what you can do, practice as much as you can, you have the vocabulary words I have shown you, and there are different websites. I'll give the link in the description soon. So this is how you do a pie chart. Okay, again, first you paraphrase, then you understand and write the details, important striking features, and then conclusion. Simple as that. So this is how it is done. So there are so many ways. And the graph below show same thing. You see, nothing much. Okay? So what you can do is you can practice a lot. Practice as much as possible. Try to induce these vocabulary words. Try to induce these vocabulary words, like I mentioned before. Okay, so if in one words we need to discuss, so first paraphrase, secondly understand the pie chart, what are the highs and what are the lows. Number 3, mark all the details and compare different values, especially the highs and the lows. And finally, it's optional, but you have to, the conclusion is optional, but the trend you have to show. What is the graph overall saying? So again, the recap, briefly describe the chart's purpose. Okay, So you need to briefly describe the chart's purpose. The pie chart illustrates or whatever. Okay. Then give the overview. State the main trends. State the main trends or key takeaways. For example, this is also understanding of the graph. Details, report specific percentage and comparison. Use vocabulary like accounts for, represents. Okay, vocabulary should be technical. And then there is a conclusion which is optional. You need to focus, means that highlight the largest and smallest slices, mention any significant difference between categories. Number two, comparisons. Use the language such as like connectors, while, whereas, to in contrast to compare slices. The tense, if it is in past tense, you need to use the present tense. And if it's current or general, again use present tense. I have made a mistake. So if the chart shows past data, use past tense, but if it shows present data, use present tense. Then we have avoid repetition. This use synonyms for shows and represents, etc. Double check your numbers and calculations. You don't mess up with that. You cannot put wrong data or wrong information. And then you can also do all these with lots of practice. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and in the coming video, inshallah, we will discuss bar graph, line graph, and one by one all the questions of writing task 1. Okay, so thank you. This is the Ielts vocabulary for you for writing task 1 academic, and you are done.